The Nikki Glazer Podcast.
Like I'm getting back into Louis C.K. and I'm obsessed. I'm back on board. Here's my take. Are you ready for my problematic take?
Oh, hell yeah.
I didn't listen to him for very long because I've talked about this before. I really liked him for his honesty. That was always my favorite part about his stand-up. And I felt like, wow, what he came out as having done is he's a liar. Like there was like a really seediness underneath all of this that we didn't know about. And it was, and I didn't like his actions. I think that it was a little bit murky. I don't think that he's necessarily like the nicest person all the time to people from stories I've heard. But I'm sorry. Here comes
That's
the take.
the name of his special too. I'm sorry.
I know. Here comes the take. If you go back and listen to his albums, I've listened to every single album. I think there's been like 10 or so. It's all there. No one should be surprised of what came out. It's all there. You should actually be surprised if he hadn't done this. And I'm not saying what he did was okay. I'm not condoning. Condoning is saying it's okay, right? I'm not saying that the women weren't right to feel violated and they weren't right to, like, we should not shame them in any way, or I hope they have amazing careers and that coming out about it did not affect their careers. I think that's the saddest part about this, is that like that's what they're known for now, if you do know their names. And I hope you don't know their names so that they have a separate career. But just a separate identity away from this story. But if this guy did not jerk off in front of people based on what if you listen to these albums, there's just no way this guy, first of all, let me just say some of the things that he reveals in these albums, because it might have been a while since you listened to him. One of his first experiences with bad words, an old man approached him and who knows how true the story is, but I'm sure there's some level of truth to it. An old man came up to him at a very young age when he's like in kindergarten and was like, "Hey, little boy, you want to hear all the dirty words?" And of course he's like, "Yeah, of course." And so the guy's like, "Pussy, ass, fuck, cunt, shit, fart." And he told him all about dick, whatever, cunt. And I think I said cunt twice, but probably. And he was like, okay. And then he learned them all. He was like, pussy, ass, fart, cunt, shit, ass. And he goes, okay. And then he goes to kindergarten. He goes up to his teacher, his kindergarten teacher, and he says all the words. He just goes up to her and says all the words right to her. And she starts crying. And he said it was one of the greatest moments of his life.
Oh, okay.
And so there we go.
There
okay?
it is.
That's in, I believe, either I'm
Genesis.
sorry or the one after I'm sorry. And then right after that bit, he goes into, some people have weird sexual stuff, and then everyone starts laughing. He's like, "What do you mean, someone?" He was like, "You guys know mine. Everyone knows mine. Obama knows mine." He was like, he talks about it. But that is the genesis of it. A young age, he said something disgusting. He got pleasure from a woman being horrified, which leads him to be a comedian who says some of the most horrible things you could ever imagine and makes a career off of it. That's why we love him. He was the first person to ever say that his kids were assholes. He told a story about his wife giving him the saddest hand job in America, or, all of these things. And then there's another story where he showed his penis to a girl with Down syndrome when he was 10 years old. And I'm guessing that age is a little bit, I'm guessing that age is a little bit older than what he said for the joke. If I was a betting woman, I'm just saying. And so he said that. He also, the punchline to many of his jokes is jerking off onto the thing that he has just talked about.
Wow.
Almost in every album. There is,
Or
also
getting
has,
jerked off onto. You can
really?
come on my back and pretend that I'm your father.
Yes.
I think what you're saying is like, what Louis did is not acceptable, and that's bad.
Yes.
But
No,
you
of
can't
course
be
not.
surprised that the guy who spent 20 years talking about how much of a piece of shit he is on stage is actually a piece of shit.
And that, he's not just a sexual piece of shit, which he covers. He is a bad person in general. He tells us he's a bad person over and over.
Yeah.
He has bad thoughts. He hates people. He hates a little kid. He wishes this little kid has the worst. Like, he talks about, for like 7 minutes, a 4-year-old that's in his daughter's class who he fucking hates. And he does like a fake name for the kid. But he has evil, dark, twisted thoughts. All I'm saying is that, Nikki Glazer, you have no right to stand on this little, stand on your hill and say, my soapbox, and say, I don't like him anymore because he wasn't honest. He's telling you the whole time that's not a reason to not enjoy his comedy anymore.